Listen to this. Today you have a choice. You can choose between anger and love, division and unity, frustration and hope, selfishness and giving, turning away, or my favorite thing, just showing up. Choose kindness, and the choice is simple. It's hard to regret being kind. So today, what are you choosing? What's your word for today? So if you would, sir. Love. Good. That's what we're going to be talking about today. What do I want my day to be? I choose. And what do I want to feel today? It's up to me. I choose. And what do I want to say today? I choose. It's up to me to choose. I choose. Oh God, listen how good you guys sound. Oh my God, they're so good. 1, 2, 3, 4, choose. All right, so here's what you're going to sing with me now. It goes like this. Here we go. Today, I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful. Can you sing that? Today, I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful. How about happy today? Today, I choose to be happy, so happy today. Today, I choose to be happy. How about peaceful today? I choose to be peaceful, so peaceful today. I choose to be peaceful. And here's the deal. Because whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I claim what I want cause it's all up to me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Today I choose to be loving, so loving today. I choose to be loving, loving. How about joyful today? I choose to be joyful, so joyful today. I choose to be joy. Now pick your own word. What do you want today? Put a word in there. I choose to be what? To be. Today, I choose. Do that again. To be. Pick another word today. I choose. What's your word? To be. Today, I choose to be. Because whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I claim what I want cause it's all up to me. You know it's all up to me. Oh, today I choose to be thankful, to be thankful, so thankful today. I choose to be thankful. Now let's go back to grateful today. I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful. That line again. To be grateful, grateful. Again. To be grateful, grateful. Here we go. To be grateful, grateful. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be grateful. Let's hear it for this band and these singers. Oh my God. So can I just tell you, I play, you got this on? I play all these different churches all around the country. And when I get a band like this and backup singers, these are my Druckettes, by the way. When I get a band like this, I'm like going, thank you. Because a lot of times a song like that, it will turn into a polka with some other bands. And you just like the train is moving that way, so you just have to go with it. So thank you. I am not worthy. Thank you. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, do you know how loved you are?
No, it's okay. You are precious, so sweet and bright, a radiant beam of shining light. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, do you know how loved you are? So do you know how loved you are? Do you? Did you wake up this morning and as you opened your sweet little eyes to the world and it wasn't raining, thank you, God, and you sashayed into the bathroom and you looked in the mirror and went, oh my God, did you get more beautiful overnight? What is the deal here? Look at this body. Oh my God. Did you do that? Did you go, oh my God, everything's dropping? So I truly believe that the way we start our day is the foundation. That's why I wanted to choose that song today, because the way we start our day is the foundation of our day. When we start from this loving place to ourselves, that's how everything just starts. The whole day can be filled with love and peace when we start from that day. Now, one of the things that I have seen in my life is that whatever little song might be in your head when you wake up can really determine the way the day goes. And I have purposely had the first song of all my 22 albums, you can't say that anymore, can you? Albums, I'm dating myself. The first song would always be something that would be, positive, a good positive message. So I learned this lesson years ago when I was in a hotel, and the alarm clock radio woke me up with Linda Ronstadt singing to me, you're no good, you're no good, you're no good, baby, you're no good. And then she goes, in case I didn't hear it, I'm going to say it again, you're no good. So what do you think I'm hearing all day long in my head? Anything I try and do. You're no good, you're no good, you're no good. So you have to turn that around and go, I'm so good. So I have a little video here that maybe this can be the way that you start your day tomorrow morning. So if you would play that for me, darlings. I can do anything. Anything. So can you maybe try that tomorrow morning? Just stand in front of the mirror. I love everything about me. I'm so fabulous. Can you do that? Just try it. So it's been Valentine's Day last week. Did you have a nice Valentine's? For some people, it's a painful day. Other people, they love it. But this is the month of love. For some reason in our society, we let it be okay that you can be all squishy and mushy with people and tell them you love them and give them acknowledgement. But I truly believe that, it starts with us. It starts with us. And, recently I was driving by on the freeway. I was driving too fast, and I saw this sign on this gym that said, love workout. And I went, how great. Wouldn't that be great if every morning, you did, what is it? I came up with 10 reps of I am wonderful, fabulous, and worthy. 5 reps of I appreciate myself 4. And in the evening, every evening, you look at yourself in the mirror and you go, oh, little sweet one, I just love you. I acknowledge you for what you did today. And you list all those things. Wouldn't that be great? It turns out that it said love your workout. But I just heard it as it's a love workout. So I just thought, because the bottom line is, love is a muscle. Giving to ourselves it's sometimes not an easy thing to do. It's so much easier to give it out to other people, right? Do you find that? But to give it to yourself? The media is constantly telling us that if we just had this car or were 10 pounds thinner or had these clothes or makeup, then you'd be lovable. But I am here to just remind us all that we're lovable right now. There's nothing you need to do. Nothing you need to do. You're already there. All this stuff that we're going to talk about is just whipped cream and cherries on top of the cake. But I have a song, a little chant that I wrote years ago when I had done something really stupid. And I called a girlfriend up and said, oh my God, you wouldn't believe the stupid thing I did. I'm such an idiot. And she said, stop right there. I will not have you talk to my friend that way. Those are the kind of friends you need. And she said, would you ever imagine speaking to yourself? Would you imagine speaking to a child the way you're speaking to yourself? Some of the things we say to ourselves sometimes, would you ever imagine saying that to someone you love? No. But we do. We can just beat ourselves up for stupid things and just not even think about that we're doing that stuff. So I wrote this little chant, I will be gentle with myself. So it just says, I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I sing that to myself when I do those things, and I have that inner critic come in. Does anyone have an inner critic here, or should I just bypass it? So my inner critic, her name is Zelda, and so she will just come in going, "Girl, who do you think you are?" And you know what I've learned is that when that inner critic comes in, which we all, it just has its way of just whenever you're stretching or growing, it'll mouth off. I want you to all practice this. Just say, back off, okay? You got to do this. 1, 2, 3, back off. You can have a little bit more attitude. Back off. Yeah, and so the next time it comes in, back off, let me have my way, And the thing that's interesting to me is this Gentle With Myself song, I looked on Spotify. It's up to 3 million streams, this little song. It says something to me about what's going on for all of us, don't you think? That we are all needing that message of just lightening up and being gentle. And so I learned many years ago, wait a minute, I want to just give you this quote, the other serenity prayer. Please grant me the serenity to stop beating myself up for not doing things perfectly, the courage to forgive myself because I always try my very best, and the wisdom to know that I am a good person with a kind heart. Isn't that a great serenity prayer? Could you imagine saying that every day to yourself? In the mirror. You're doing the best you can. Cheryl Richardson had this quote that she said, what would it look like if your only New Year's resolution or your vow for the entire year was simply to love yourself more? Because here's the deal. This talk is very selfish. Because what I've learned is this. When I love myself, I can love you more. When I don't beat up on myself, I can be more open to whoever you are. So the fact is, the more love we give to ourselves, the more we see people. The more we're easy on ourselves, we'll be easy on that other person. And so to me, especially, and what he said about all the things that are going on in this world right now, don't you think we just need this right now? We need this love and kindness to each other. But it starts with you. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease, and may I be happy. Then I can give that to you. So I learned years ago, I had what is called a 6-second moment. And a 6-second moment is when you have a situation that happens, a lot of times it happens in your youth, that you make a decision around. You have some kind of a situation that happens that you make this belief system and this decision around. And when I was growing up, I had the 6-second moment at a pivotal time that relates to this talk today. And this is, if I was going to call what I have a signature story, this is it, because I love telling this story. So when I was growing up, I grew up in Hollywood, and yes, people are born there. I grew up in Hollywood, and I was what you'd call a drip, a nerd, a geek. I had acne and braces, and I was straightening my hair every night, and I looked like just a mess. But I just was trying so hard. Does anyone ever have a relationship with a product Dippity-Doo? Do you know? Okay, so we're going to have a healing here today, I think, around this. So I would take a whole can of Dippity-Doo and slather it all over my head and put all these little barrettes and all this stuff in there to try and be having my hair straight by the morning. And every single morning, my hair would go eek, 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 like this. And then if it was ever foggy in Hollywood, my hair would rise like yeast. It was not a pretty picture. But I'm just afraid that you're looking at me as I tell this story, the supermodel that I am today, and you can't really visualize what I'm saying. So this is my 8th grade picture. So you could see, I'm just setting the foundation. And don't look at this picture and think, oh my God, this poor girl, she's pathetic. Because you all have the same picture, don't you? Thank you. So at that time, I'm just struggling. I don't know who I am, what I'm doing. But I had a mentor at that time, and her name was Carol Burnett. Do you remember Carol Burnett and the Carol Burnett Show? So Carol Burnett went to my junior high school and my high school, and she made it, and I was like, God, she just was everything to me. And every single Friday, I would take the bus down to CBS Television Center. I would stand in line for 2 hours. I wore the same little purple polka dot dress that my mom made for me, and I'd made a beeline to that seat right there. And she'd come out and she'd wink at me, and I'm like, oh my God, we're like best friends. Okay, totally. And I would just sit there and just watch her like this, for 2 hours. I thought she was everything. Because she gave me hope. She made me feel good about myself, especially being this geek. So one day I'm sitting there, And all of a sudden, my hands start getting all clammy, and my heart starts beating, and I'm going, I thought I was having like an anxiety attack or whatever. And out of nowhere, my hand goes up, and I'm like, ah! And I try and get it down. And in that moment, she probably wanted to know who this weird stalker kid was. So she said, yes, what would you like to ask? And I'm like a deer in the headlights. But then I remembered I had won the Edgar Rice Burroughs Tarzan calling contest 2 weeks earlier. And I said, I'd like to challenge you to a Tarzan calling contest. And she said, great, come on up. So now I'm up on stage with my idol in front of millions of people, but the main thing that I saw were all the people in the audience that were beaming at me and giving me all this. They're smiling and they're giving me all this love, and I'm like eating it up. This is just, oh my God, I'd never been on stage before, and this is great, until I looked at about where you all are sitting right there, and there were all the cool girls from my school. Yeah, just doing an attitude like that. Just sitting there going, oh my God, is that Karen Drucker? Oh my God, we don't know her. And they're rolling their eyes and they're just doing all this stuff. And I, in that instant, like that, I was devastated. I felt shamed. I was embarrassed. I wanted to get off that stage as fast as I could. But that is where my 6-second moment came from. Because in that moment, for some reason, I felt like there was this imaginary line right here. And it was a choice that I could either stand back here and give them all the power and stay in that geeky teenage thing that I felt of myself, or I could step over that line and claim my power and claim my self-love. And I remember standing there like this, and I remember looking at Carol Burnett, and then looking at those girls, and then going, thank you very much. But that to me was my moment of saying, every moment I have a choice of who I'm going to give my love to. Am I going to give it to me? Am I going to value who I am? Or am I going to look at everyone in the world and keep going, am I okay? Am I okay? Do you like me? Am I okay? And so that was that turning point for me of just realizing, and that's what it is sometimes, just a little teeny change of having that idea that you are worthy, that there's nothing you need to do. Years ago, I had a comedy partner, Lauren Mayer, and we had an act called Drucker and Mayer, and we played all these corporate events and private parties and whatever, doing our custom-written comedy show. And we got a big break to go down to Hollywood and play a club down there. And so we were very excited about this gig. And part of our act was we had a big trunk that was right behind us, and we'd go and we'd get props, and we'd put props on and sing a song and do all this stuff. Well, we're unloading. Now remember, this is like our big break. We're unloading all our stuff, and some stage manager comes by, and he's smoking a cigar, and he looks at us, and he goes, so you guys must not be very good if you have all these props. And I remember the two of us just looking at each other like, but I mean, what he said in that moment, you must not be very good because you have all this stuff. And he was just doing it as an aside and just walked off. But so many years later, we kept talking about this, that it's like what we were saying, I mean, the props were fun and we used them, but what it was really saying was we needed all this stuff. And I've had to look at that in my life of what is all the stuff that I've thought that I needed to be okay? What have I needed to add in and go, if I do this, if I act this way, if I do this, then you'll like me. And so what I learned was these few little quotes that I love. We carry inside us the wonders we seek outside of us. We carry inside of us, this is a Rumi poem, we carry inside of us the wonders that we seek outside of us. And Ram Dass said, you are loved just for being who you are, just for existing. You don't have to do anything to earn it. I'll say that again. You don't have to do anything to earn it. No one can take this love away from you, and it will always be there. Always be there. So I was watching the Golden Globes recently, that awards show, And there was a woman that won a Golden Globe, Niecy Nash, if any of you know who she is. And she gets up there and she thanks her fans and her family and God and everybody. But what was really fabulous was this. She literally said, and finally, I want to thank me for believing in me and doing what they said I could not do. And I want to say to myself, in front of all of you beautiful, famous people, you go, girl, with your bad self, because you did that. I mean, the thing is, how much do we give ourselves credit when we do something? I mean, it was great because all of a sudden they panned to the audience and people were laughing and giving her a standing ovation. I mean, they went nuts when she said that. But, really, how much do we give ourselves credit for what we do? We've been taught, don't stand on a soapbox and don't put yourself out there in that way. People are going to think you're a narcissist or whatever. Well, I'm saying to you right now, actually, you know what? Everyone stand up right now. Just stand up. Give yourselves a standing ovation. Everyone turn around, look at each other. Look around the room. Look around the room. So may I suggest, thank you very much, you did that very well. May I suggest that when you do something that is nice, a lot of times you're the only one who knows when you've done something nice for somebody. Take the time to go, that was really good. You're a little sweet thing. You're just such a good person. Whatever it is that you want to do. I got in this habit so as I said, 22 albums out. Every single time that box would come with the albums, I would immediately go, okay, great. Now that's done. I'd put it in the garage. Okay, now we got to start marketing. I would never take the time to go, good job. And I finally learned after doing this for years and years and years and realizing this is just a habit. It was just a habit of mine. To any success I had, I would always feel like it was inappropriate to say anything to anybody. I don't want to sound like I'm, all that. Well, you know what? I am all that, and so are you. But it's being able to have a group of friends around you that you can be that way, that they're not going to think you're, too much or whatever, that you can say, God, look what I did today. So you know what I do now? So I wrote a book, and it was a big deal to write this book. It was, all these albums, everything is a big deal that you don't say to anybody. It's just like it comes, you put it out in the world, and blah, blah, blah. But when the book came, nobody was home. My little box came of this book. I got it out, and I said, all right, don't do that habit that you do. Change it right now. Choose something different. So I got out some champagne. And I put it in the best glass, and I opened it up. I looked at the book and went, you go, girl. And now I do that with anything that I do, just the smallest thing. And then I have friends that we have this set up that we can just call each other and go, you know what I did today? And you could just say that. And they're going to go, yay for you. What's interesting in all my women's retreats that I lead, I have this exercise called Drop and Give Me 20. Which is everyone stands up, and as soon as I tell them what the exercise is, everyone gets this look of panic. But what you have to do, it's not drop and give me 20 push-ups. It's drop into your heart and give me 20 reasons why you're the most fabulous person on this planet, or 20 things that you've done in your life. And so I have them all look around. They have to go up to someone and go, I acknowledge myself for blah, blah, blah. And the person says, yes, you did that. And then the person has to say it back to them, and then you go to another person. But when I'm telling them this exercise, and also saying you can't repeat, they just go, and I always say to them, come on, ladies, you're 50, 60 years old. You can't come up with 20 things that you've done in your life that you're proud of, or 20 qualities that you have. There's some work to be done there. And I think that's true for all of us, to be able to just really acknowledge what we do, who we are, the qualities we have. I'm kind. I'm a great friend. Whatever it is. And I learned the most profound lesson in this when I was with my friend Janet. And I'm wearing her little thing here today. Janet was a practitioner. She was an incredible teacher. and very, very conscious. And when she knew that her cancer was not going away and the time had come that the doctor said there's nothing more she could do, she brought 10 of her closest friends together, and she said, I want you to help me die consciously. And I don't know what that looks like, of what you all are going to do, but I want you all to be my angel team. And we all kind of gulped because we didn't know what this was going to mean. But we all organically started taking on different positions. And I did not cook, thank God, because it would have been her demise even earlier. But I started to just bring my piano and I would just sing to her. Just sing to her every day. I would just, even when she was sleeping, I would just be playing piano and singing. And it was truly wonderful. And I remember that she looked up at me one day and she said, this is taking longer than I thought it should. You know, what's wrong with me? And I said, Janet, every single day people are writing to you on Facebook, calling you, leaving you messages, writing you letters about how fabulous you are and the impact you had on their life. Why would you want to go? And she said, you are so right. This is the best time of my life. She even had hospice call and say, how you doing? She goes, oh my God, I'm having the most fabulous death. But the biggest thing she taught me was at the very end, she said, is this what it's really all about? Is just giving, but also receiving love? If love is why I'm here, let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. Is that what it's all about? Just that? Giving? Receiving? That's why you come to this church. Yes, it's about Ken, it's about Misa, it's about the band, but it's about you. It's about that this is a community, and I feel that community up here, let me tell you. And you're giving and receiving love, and you're caring for each other. And the thing that I think is so important is to not only say it to yourself, again, it starts with you, but to give it to other people. You know, we have a mutual friend, Brian Connolly. Remember Brian? When my friend Brian passed away suddenly, he had this, his parents threw him this big memorial at this church, which I know he would have just been like, I don't want that. But what was so amazing to me was everybody got up at that church, at this memorial, and said how amazing Brian was, how talented, how creative, how kind and generous and funny, and went on and on and on. And I just kept saying, I wish he could have known this. I wish he could have heard this. It made me write this little song, if only you could see yourself as other people do, you would see the light of love that shines to everyone. You would understand the reason why people care for you. You would see that. You would know that you are loved. And I just kept saying, I wish he could have known that and heard it. So I'm saying to all of you today, don't wait. Don't wait for Valentine's Day or Christmas or any of those times when it's appropriate to share your love with people. Give it now. Give it now, and give it to yourself first.